From BigHMW.com, World Headquarters at Bishop Park, this is the Atari Report, the 8-bit edition with Ray Jackson.
Good evening, everybody. On this edition of the Atari Report, we take a look at a game that we should have gotten back in 1981 and get here today for all of you to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Lee presents Missile Command Plus for the Atari 8-bit home computers and the Atari XE video game system. Yes, indeed. Here it is. The version of Missile Command we should have gotten back in 1981 for the Atari home computers, but instead got the Missile Command that we're so all familiar with. Well, this is a refreshing change from that. Right here, you've got a true to the original version of Missile Command from Paul Lee called Missile Command Plus for the Atari 8-bit home computers and the Atari XE video game system. It features almost all the arcade faculties in her, including all 3 missile bases, as well as, of course, extra graphics, which she needed desperately, of course, because the original 8-port Missile Command was like, kind of too easy and things like that, too out of place with only 1 missile base. But yeah, 3 missile bases you've got right here. And everything you need to know is right there. Of course, there are 2 different ways of firing the missiles. You've got, of course, the 3-button way, which you do through J, K, and L. J for the left base, known as Alpha. K for the Delta base in the center. And for the Omega base on the right, you use the L key on the keyboard. And all the graphics are right there. I just had a little awkward, thing about trying to operate with the keys, and as you can tell by my erratic controls here, I'm not used to playing with the trackball on the 8-bit home computers like I'm on the 5200, and basically she's a little erratic with that on the 8-bit computers, but she works out pretty fine. As you can see there, I almost missed her right there, but yeah, all 3 missile bases are there. Of course, for those who use the single-button controller, it's controllable that way too with the fire button, and it just fires from the nearest missile base where the cursor's at. But this was well done. Paul Lee did a great job on adapting the original play of Missile Command into this game, and I gotta tell you, it's well done. It's well done. I mean, this is the way that Missile Command should have come out for the Atari 8-bit home computers. I mean, I gotta tell you, it is good, it plays well, and for me, I have to get adjusted to using the keyboard for the 3 different bases, rather than the 1 fire button on the controller itself. And it'll take a while for me to do that, but yeah. There was even a 5200 version that came out also from Paul Lee back in 2005, but it turned out to be malfunctioning, and anyhow, for those who it did work with, you had the fire buttons 1, 2, and 3 on the keypad that operated the 3 missile bases independently. But yes, this is a wonderful game here. I mean, this is the way it should have been played. This is the way it should be played. I mean, 3 missile bases, and I'm glad that Paul Lee incorporated all of them into one. But yeah, I have a tough time playing this game already because you have to focus on hitting the right key and being able to operate the trackball at the same time, or the joystick at the same time. And for me, like I said, I have a tough time doing that, but I'll get used to it eventually. Oh, I hit a pause mode and by mistake there. But yeah, it's a nice job, I gotta tell you. Everything the arcade version has, this has. One drawback is, of course, it doesn't have the player 1 total point value. It just has the point value as you see right here on your screen. It doesn't say player 1 or player 2. But that's no big deal. But the way it should be played in the arcade, the way it's played in the arcade, it's played here too. And it's really nice. Other than that, it's just the same 8-bit Missile Command that we're so familiar with, only with a different firing process for the missiles, and 3 missile bases at that. And yes, even the bonus city graphic, as you see down below there, is included in this port. 2 thumbs up for it, I gotta tell you. I mean, it's a lot better than the one we got back in 1981 for the Atari home computers. And hopefully 5200 owners will be able to enjoy this as well once somebody has a fix for the malfunctioning port of it that you couldn't play too well because it was erratic on some systems. But for those who didn't have the erratic play, it worked out well. And I got as far as the 5 times the point value on this particular one. Usually I'm a lot better Missile Command than this, but this was my first time trying it out with this 3-button scheme here. And as you can see, I had a little bit of a tough time there with it, but I'll get used to it. But yeah, this is the way Missile Command should have come out in the arcade. Oops, I just lost right there. And guess what comes, ladies and gentlemen? There it is, right there. Well, guys, what do you think? You know, I gotta tell you, Missile Command Plus is exactly what Missile Command should have been released like from Atari back in 1981. Paul Lee has done a terrific job incorporating the keyboard on the Atari game system, the Atari home computers, to a T. I gotta tell you, it's just a little awkward for me because I'm so used to the single base and single fire button of all the other Missile Command ports for the Atari home games. I gotta tell you, 2 thumbs up, I gotta tell you. The game is far better now than it was back in 1981 when it was first released. And Paul Lee deserves a big 2 thumbs up for this one because he's done a rather fine job. I just find it a little awkward, at least for me. Maybe I'll get adjusted to it pretty soon. You know, of having J, K, and L be the Alpha, Delta, and Omega bases, if I remember the arcade game correctly. But I gotta tell you, it's a fantastic job by Paul Lee. And this is what the game should have been like back in 1981 when it was released for the Atari 8-bit computers. And I hope soon there will be a 5200 port of this as well. Who knows if there will be one, or at least one that works. Who knows? But I mean, I could see some kind of incorporation of keypads 1, 2, and 3 on the 5200 controller for that particular source. But that's a whole nother story. But I gotta tell you, it's a great game and one that you should download. I have the download available on AtariH.com. You click on the link down below on this particular page. And if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to check out the other YouTube channels that I have as well. Well, that's game over for this edition of the Atari Report. So for all of us here at BigHMW.com World Headquarters, I'm Ray Jackson wishing you good gaming and good night.